Cathedral, and very pleased that this bill is going forward. Thank you.
Sorry, Stanford. Ms. Stanford. Erica, sorry.
It's fine. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm really happy and proud to take a call on this third reading of the Christchurch Cathedral Reinstatement Bill. Can I just say, Mr. Speaker, that this, although I've only just started to be involved in this, it really does just feel like the beginning of hopefully what is the end of the reinstatement of this historic and beautiful cathedral. As I said, and I'm going to keep this short because I've said most of what I want to say in my second reading, but in the second reading of this bill. But I did want to say that my perspective is somewhat of an outsider. I'm not from Christchurch. I did live there for a while, but my perspective is of an Aucklander. And what I learned through this process was that this cathedral is so very important to the people of Christchurch. In fact, 3 days after the earthquake, I flew down to Christchurch and spent some time in Littleton shooting a documentary as part of my previous career. And amongst all of the stories, the personal stories that we heard, one of the things that came through from everyone that we spoke to was their feelings of despair at losing their beautiful cathedral. And that is what I bring to this, or these procedures. I have to say that one of the highlights from me from being involved in this was the collaborative process that we had in Select Committee, the shared purpose that we had of working together collaboratively to come up with a bill that was fit for purpose and that we felt was going to achieve the purpose of this bill, which is to reinstate this cathedral in a timely manner and a cost-effective manner. It was really important to, as a newbie, to understand the context of this bill and all of the work that went into getting to the point of where we were at Select Committee, and that meant understanding in particular the Cathedral Working Group's report and the history of that and the good faith negotiations that all of those groups went into to come to agreeing to that really important document, which is why it's so important that that document is now referred to in this bill. And that was the work of the Select Committee, that we felt that that was such an integral and important document that it needed to be referenced in this bill. And I think that will give many parties on all sides of this debate who have vested interests and a great deal of passion around the cathedral some comfort. I was also really pleased in this bill that we also included the Christchurch City Council in the engagement clause 9. As a regulatory body that will be involved in this process of reinstating of the cathedral, the bill beforehand really didn't require them to be consulted with unless the Minister thought that it was right. And the fact that we've now put them in there, I think, is a really important step because they are such an important partner in the reinstatement of the Christchurch Cathedral. I want to thank all the submitters that we heard from. We heard from 9 in between Christchurch and Wellington. We heard from 9. They were all fantastic. They gave us some really constructive criticisms, of which we listened to very, very carefully and took on board. And I feel that we ended up with a bill that balanced some of those competing views, and we came up with a bill that really is fit for purpose. And in fact, those submitters brought forward some ideas that we hadn't thought of and were particularly insightful. We considered them very, very carefully. We also, while deliberating, were very conscious of the fact that we were giving incredible powers to a minister. Then we knew through that whole process that we needed to make sure that there were the appropriate checks and balances, and that was on our mind the entire time. But given that it is such a small geographical space, we felt that the powers that we were giving to the minister everything would be fine. The last thing that I wanted to say. Oh, the worst minister. We didn't have a particular minister in mind. We were imagining one. Mr. Speaker, I just want to finish by saying that this is indeed a Christmas present for the people of Christchurch, although the kind of Christmas present you get that you open up and find that it's actually kit set and it's going to take 10 years. But I jest. This really is a monumental occasion. It's fantastic for the people of Christchurch. I cannot wait for the day that I take my children down to Christchurch to show them the new reinstated cathedral, and I commend this bill to the House.
Dr. Duncan Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.